Welcome back to another video from the Debate Room podcast. As you can tell by the title, we have another first look for a NBA draft prospect. And as you can tell by the title, this is Ace Bailey's first look. And I've been wanting to talk about Ace for a very long time. I think Ace Bailey is one of the most controversial and infamous draft prospects that I've ever watched. I feel like everybody is on one side of the spectrum or the other. One side is saying he can be an all-star level player, and the other side is saying he's going to be a bust. And so I'm here to really see what it has been so far and give you my thoughts on what I think Ace Bailey can be on the NBA level. Um, like I said earlier, though, I feel like some people are saying he could be Kevin Durant, and others are saying he's going to be Cam Reddish. And it hasn't been a lot of in between. Um, when you look at Ace's highlights, you see these tough shots, you see these 3-pointers, you see some dunks on occasion. When you really dive deep into watching his film, it reveals some questionable things. One, he doesn't really pass at all. Two, he's not a very efficient player at all when you watch him on film. Three, his handle is really questionable. It's been I think it's been improving in some games, but the handle is questionable. His ability to get downhill and get to the rim is basically non-existent. He also does not get to the free throw line a lot. So it's a lot of questions with Ace Bailey and his profile. And I think the way Ace Bailey turns out in the NBA is going to be a major um, talking point in NBA draft circles because a lot of the indicators right now are pointing to high bust potential. Right now, he's averaging 18.9 points, 7.6 rebounds, only 0.7 assists. He has a 4.8 assist rate, 10.4 turnover percentage. He's shooting 45% from the field, 35% from three, on 8.3 3-point attempts per 100. So decent volume. And I think 35% is decent. I'm gonna talk about this more when I get into the film, but I would love for him to shoot the ball more. Like if he got that 8.3 up to like 10 per 100, that would be, I think, great for his projection. And the most questionable thing when I watch Ace, and it's mind-boggling, he's shooting 56.4% from the free throw line, and that's alarming. I don't think free throw percentage is the best indicator of you know future shooting projection, but I think it's a decent one. It has some correlation to touch and to 3-point projection. 56.4%, and he has a 23.8 free throw rate, so not getting there a whole lot of time. His whole statistical profile accumulates to 51 true shooting percentage. So not the best, and you're going to see why his efficiency is not the best when you watch him and some of the type of shots he takes. His shot selection is very questionable. Now, when it goes in, it's great. He has great fluidity. He has great coordination. He has great footwork. A lot of stuff you'd like to see out of a 18-year-old. He is a elite mid-range shot maker. I don't know how much that value that holds in today's NBA, but he's a really, really good shot maker, especially for his age. You'll see that on film as well, and I'll get to that right now. Actually, I'm going to get that into our queue. All right, so let's watch some of this film on Ace Bailey. The first thing, I'm gonna start off with some positives because honestly, when people evaluate Ace, I think there is a lot of negatives, and I won't ignore those. We'll talk about those in the later part of the videos, but I do want to talk about some positives because Ace does have some positives. I got 3 games in this film study, not including the 39-point game he had versus Indiana, where he showed his shot making prowess in that game. So that was one of his better games of the year. But We're gonna start off with his shot making because that's the selling point with Ace. That's the best part of Ace's game right now is his shot making ability. I think most of it is coming from the mid range. He is a very high value mid range shooter. I think he's shooting 40. Let me look. 44%, 45%. Um, on mid-range shots. If I'm not 47.7 on mid-range shots. So he's hitting a high volume of these. On this first clip, you see it. He's in the corner. This is one of his best shots of the year. Shot clock going down. The coordination, footwork to stay in bounds and knock down the shot and get a foul. That's great. That's elite. And on this play, you're going to see the fluidity. The footwork is really good. Fadeaway over two. It's not the best shot, which we're going to talk about later. But he can make these. Like it's not a good shot in the grand scheme of things, but for Ace, it might be a good shot because he can make these consistently. We've seen that all year. Play three, turnaround fade, very smooth, very coordinated. Looks like something he practiced. And I think that's a good thing in the vacuum because if he's just out there trying stuff, then that's not the best. But he practices these things and he clearly works on them. Here he gets cut off, smooth. That's a smooth move, and I think that can be a counter. That should be a counter, like in today's NBA, not something you really go to. I think there's probably one player, like two players that go to that: DeMar Rosen and KD. Those are the only players that really go to these mid-range shots. Here, he's really good with limited amount of dribbles. One dribble, pump fake, doesn't create a lot of separation, knock down a shot. Here, this is the Ace Bailey experience. I tweeted this picture out on Twitter. Everyone in here is in the paint, like all five people, and there's three people around. He doesn't care, knocks it down. And next part of his game that I think is going to be really translatable to the NBA, and I want to see Rutgers do this more. I want to see Ace do this more, and whatever NBA team he ends up on needs to do this. His off-ball shot making, coming off pin downs, flares, anything, baseline out of bounds, sideline out of bounds. Using him as an off-ball weapon is going to be the thing I think translates most. He's not going to be a very good on-bar scorer, especially coming into the league, because again, he does not get to the rim really well, the free throw line really well. His handle needs work. But this, as an off-ball weapon, he can do this. Comes off the screen, knocks down. That's a amazing shot. An amazing shot. Here he comes off the screen. Now, if he's going to shoot mid-ranges, I would love to see like a lot of this, like coming off pin downs, coming off double screens, getting into the mid-range, in rhythm. That's a good shot. I feel like that's a good shot, even though it's a mid-range. You know, it's 20 seconds left on the shot clock, but that's a good shot. It's a play, it's a set in the flow of an offense. I like that for him. Here, I think he misses this. Yeah, but I still like the process of getting him a look off a baseline out of bound play. Here, he relocates, finds open space, knocks down the three. Here, just a standard catch and shoot shot. He knocks it down. Here was another play they ran from. He did knock down the shot, but again, I just want to see more of this. I feel like it's more so the process sometimes with these prospects more than the results. He always misses a shot, but I like the process of him getting involved off ball. A very translatable thing that I think he would need to be able to do. Now, the third part of his game that I believe will translate to the league and shows up on film for him is his help side defense. It's not like super consistent, but it shows up in flashes on tape. I think his defensive blocks plus minus is like 0.1. So the numbers don't look great. I think he has a 5% block rate, a 1.8% steal percentage. So the stock numbers aren't the best, but context needs to be applied. This team is very small. They have no rim protection at all, and they have Ace at times basically just playing center. He's playing more so like a 4 in this role. I think in the league he's going to be more so like 3. So if Ace can provide help side rim protection like he does on this play right here, that's pretty good alters that shot. Here he rotates over, blocks Xavier Lee, and also him defending the ball. He shows some flashes of just being able to wall off defenders and show some good coordination. Here he forces a travel, and there are more defensive clips that I didn't include in this film that show Ace being a capable defender. It's more so about the consistency, the awareness, which I'll show you later on. But here again, he rotates over and blocks Xavier Lee. Next thing, Ace is not a very good driver of the basketball at all. He only gets to the rim about 3.8 times per game, and I think a lot of that is not off of his actual like driving to the rim. I think 48% of those are assisted, so it's like kind of like 50-50 with him. I think the best he's going to be able to do right now as far as driving to the rim is attacking tilted defenses, attacking off closeouts. Here, they're in some type of zone, some type of weird defense. He attacks, finishes over the defender. That's a good rep. Here, this is a terrible closeout by the defender. He rips, drives baseline, finishes. And here he just it kind of shows, in my opinion, his limitations as a driver. Doesn't go like straight towards the rim. He kind of like flares out a little bit away from the rim. Isn't able to create a clean advantage and misses his layup. But I just want to see rim attempts from him. Like you just need to try to get there because at that point you can draw fouls. You can add that part to your game. You just need that on there. Like you need that part of your game. Here he drives baseline, finishes strong through contact. Here was a really nifty move. So it's the rim finishing. The rim finishing is definitely a concern. It does show up on tape at times. Ace is his feel for the game, which I'll show a little bit later, needs work. He doesn't really pass a lot at all. But again, he's on a very bad team. So when he does pass, his teammates don't necessarily capitalize on his playmaking. But one thing I need him to do more, and especially in the league, is if he has any type of scoring gravity, he needs to leverage that scoring gravity and create opportunities for his teammates. Here he drives baseline. Harper's in the dunking spot. Knocks it down to him. Here, it's a simple read out the pick and roll. Braden Smith helps. He finds Harper. Doesn't knock it down. Now this play right here, I feel like was one of his best passes I've seen all year. In his most recent game against Purdue. I think this is a very, very nice read. Teams load up in the paint against this team all the time. They don't really respect their shooters. Don't have great shooters at all at Rutgers. But he whips a pass, Carco's pass. He travels or steps out of bounds. He was a really nice read. Probably the second best read I've seen him make all year. His teammate backdoors, finds him. Really good pass right there. All right, now here comes the bad decision making because it's not all good. I try to start with a lot of the good for Ace that I've seen. With the passing, it's like I don't even want to say flashes, but it's like sprinkles. With the defense, the outside defense is more so flashes. With the driving, it's more so flashes. Or not flashes, it's more so like sprinkles. He doesn't do that a lot. But I talked about his shot making to start this off. It's a two-sided coin because he can make a lot of those shots, but when a lot of your shots are mid-range is like inherently an inefficient shot. Like if you shoot 45% from mid-range, that is really, really good. But if a bulk of your shots are there, it could potentially decrease your efficiency, especially if you're not getting to the free throw line a lot, and especially if you're not getting to if you're not making your free throws. So he lives on a diet of mid-range shots, and it's questionable because if it's not going down, if his mid-range shots are not falling and his shot is not falling, I struggle to really see how Ace is going to consistently impact a basketball game because the defense right now is just flashes. The rim finishing right now is not good. The playmaking is not good. If his shot is not falling, how is he going to impact a basketball game? So here, process over results. He gets a foul here. But he shot that with 18 seconds on the shot clock. I don't like that. A lot of these plays, you're going to see a lot of shot clock a lot of shot clock on the clock. And he settles for mid range instead of trying to get to the rim or find a teammate. Here's like semi transition. He can't beat his defender to the rim. He pivots. Let me pause here. He has a teammate wide open. Wide open. He's wide open. He's already decided that he wants to shoot this, and he misses it. Here is somewhere where I want him to take a three. He needs to shoot more threes, like 8.3 3-point attempts for a person that projects as an off-ball like weapon and a 3-and-D type of guy. I need more shooting, like more shooting. Right here, pull this now. Don't try to like he tries to drive here into the defense. It's not a bad idea, but they sink really fast, and I just pull this three, shoot this. He drives. Actually, kind of makes a nice play to try to hit the his teammate in the corner. Kind of low pass. He bobbles it. Here, that's just a terrible shot. 21 seconds left on the shot clock, and you're taking that. Terrible shot. Here, I would like to see him get to the rim. Get to the rim. Like explode to the rim. He doesn't even. He tries. He doesn't try to get to the rim, and he settles for the jump shot with 19 seconds left on the shot clock. A lot of these shots come with a lot of time on the shot clock. These are not good possessions for Ace. Here, he can't get all the way to the rim. 18 seconds left on the shot clock. He forces up I don't know what that shot attempt was. He gets it back, forces up another shot. I think Ace is used to being the biggest, most athletic player on the floor at all times, and that was true for when he was in high school in Georgia, but that's not the case anymore in college. Here he struggles to create a separation. Defense is loading up in the paint. Awful shot attempt. I think I had this player in twice, but turns the ball over. This was another play. Everybody's in the paint. Everybody's in help in the paint. He got an outlet here, which he might be in decent spot to get that. These players on the other side, everybody has their attention on Ace. Dylan Harper isn't in the game at this time. He had an off game in this game. 19 seconds left on the shot clock. He decides to shoot this. It's poor decision making. It's poor feel for the game. It's poor. So I don't know. And this will have to be coached out of Ace if it's possible. But it's really hard to get a player to change his shot diet. It really is. Here he drives baseline, which he likes to do. Two comes, he shoots a shot, air ball. Not a great look for him. 17 seconds on the shot clock. Rutgers is down 14. He pulls a three, basically over two defenders. I don't know why. That's just I don't know, man. He also has handle concerns, which I didn't get a lot of his handle mishaps on film, but here's one. He can't really dribble into traffic really well at all. This is a really difficult pass to make. Not really, mad at the idea, but I feel like Somerville here would have been an easier pass. Like, I guess he was trying to make a play over the double team. Defense are going to just double team him a lot. He's either going to shoot it or turn the ball over out of the double team. Really risky pass, and now obviously gets turned over. Here, this plays on film twice. I didn't mean to do that. He also telegraphed his passes. I'll also forget every time. Shout out Cash Iggy for these clips. Really great work he does because it's very hard to access college basketball film sometimes. But he telegraphs his pass. Braden Smith picks it off. So I was showing a lot of the positive stuff beforehand, but his field, decision-making, passing is a real concern for me. 0.7 assists per game, 4.8 assist rate. If you look at the historical context of those numbers and you do a BART query, it's not great the results you're going to find for a wing with those type of assist numbers. It's mostly bigs, and those bigs also didn't pan out very well either. But talk about the help side defense earlier. I do think it's still a work in progress. He does tend to fall asleep at times. Now he is an 18-year-old freshman. Those things do happen, but I don't think like he's painted as his prospect that has a 3-and-D floor. I think he has potential to be a plus defensive prospect player, but he needs to work on his awareness. Here, he didn't help. He doesn't tag the roller at all. He just falls asleep. Let it. He tags it too late. At that point, it's a dump. Here, he's kind of like asleep. Ball watches, fouls the defender. Here again, he's in help. I believe it. This is his job to tag the roll man. He does it, but it's too late. And that's a hook shot for him. Here, also I gotta keep stressing this. Rutgers is terrible. The defense is awful. They don't have any paint protectors at all. Initially here, I think he does a good job, trying to take away this pass right here, which is still available. But and you'll see this on his film. He has a good motor on defense, but he's very, very undisciplined and he jumps a lot on shot fakes. And here's one example of it. He closes out, jumps, now he's out of position. Somerville has to help. He's not going to help, and this is an easy bucket for Purdue. All around, they're a bad defensive unit. But that was it for the film of Ace Bailey. I'll give some closing thoughts on the prospect and where I have him in this class. And I try to understand. I try to understand with Ace Bailey. Given the flaws, it is hard for me right now to have him as a top 5 pick, given his flaws. But I do recognize what he's good at and what value he can bring to an NBA team. It's a risky bet. And it's easy for me as someone who's not getting paid to do this, or as an NBA team, to say I wouldn't take him top 5, but NBA teams had to take swings at the top of the draft. So on my latest big board, I had Ace in the 3rd tier. So that 3rd tier was basically like from 7 to like 15. I think that's where he is in my range right now, because of the field issues, because of the playmaking issues, because of the lack of defensive awareness. Sometimes his shot profile is really bad, like as far as him not getting to the rim, not getting to the free throw line. The 3-point volume is just decent. So obviously we still have a lot of season to go. And Ace is still a very young prospect. But right now, I don't have Ace in my top 5, and I want to see how he improves throughout the season. But I do not think it's going to get much better because they're going to be facing harder competition. And Rutgers is not a good basketball team. So when you combine those type of things where they're not a good basketball team and they're also facing tough competition, his numbers might continue to get worse as the season goes on. And he's probably not going to have a NCAA tournament run that, gives prospects a little boost at the end of the year. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys like the content and like our videos, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Follow us on our social media platforms up at the top of the screen. They're also in the description as well, so go give those a follow. TikTok is about to be going possibly soon, so we need all the support we can get right now on YouTube in order for us to continue to grow. And thank you guys for watching. Leave comments on where you think Ace will go in the draft, where you have him on a hypothetical big board, and also any prospects you want me and Q to scout next. Thank you guys.